Hey guys, I am Sonika. In today's photography tutorial, I'm gonna explain to you what is metering, how it works, what are the different metering modes, and how you can use them in your photography. So let's get started.
Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell icon to get notified whenever I am on YouTube. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Sonika. Welcome to my channel, which is all about photography, travel, vlogging, cameras, and I put out new photography tutorials every Wednesday for you guys. So if you want new tutorials from me every Wednesday, please consider subscribing. And in today's video, we are going to talk about camera metering. So first of all, what is metering? In camera, metering mode or simply metering refers to the way in which the camera evaluates the exposure, meaning the way in which the camera determines the correct shutter speed and aperture depending on the light entering the camera and the ISO. There are three types of metering modes in your camera: matrix or evaluative, center weighted average, and spot metering. Each camera has a light meter. If you point your camera to a bright area, the light meter will be to the right. It will give you a plus number. And if your scene is dimly lit, your light meter will be towards the left and it will give you a negative number. So mostly I try to keep my shutter speed, aperture and ISO such that I keep my light meter at 0. This is mostly possible when you have a well-lit environment or if you are shooting in a studio. But sometimes in your scene you have different levels of light and light intensities, and your camera may show you dark shadows or little bit of highlights even when your light meter is at 0. For example, if you have a big mountain against a brightly lit sky with clouds, your camera may see different light intensities and try to balance the exposure. So a few of your clouds may be a bit highlighted and overexposed, and a bit of your mountain may be in shadow and may be underexposed. So understanding the metering modes of your camera may come to your rescue in such a situation. Matrix metering or evaluative metering for Canon users is the default metering mode for most DSLRs. It divides your frame into many zones and analyzes the light in each zone separately. But here the camera considers your focus point as the most important zone. The number of zones divided varies from camera to camera. So you need to make sure that your focus point is the most important part of the scene, or such a point which is neither brightly lit nor dimly lit. I mostly use this mode for landscape or street photography because I want the camera to evaluate the light throughout the scene and give most emphasis to my focus point. Now in a scene like this, I placed my focus point on this rock. Why? Because if I would have chosen a focus point on the water, my water would have been properly exposed, but my hills would have the risk of being underexposed. And if I would have placed my focus point on the hills, then my water and sky could have been overexposed. So I placed my focus point on this rock, which is a part of the hill and also close to the water. I still may get a few highlights and shadows here and there, but I can tackle them by adjusting my exposure compensation or later in post-production. Center weighted average metering evaluates light from the middle of the frame and not the edges. So it does not take your focus point into consideration and only evaluates light from the middle of the frame. This is useful for close-up portraits or anywhere where the subject is in the middle of the frame. So it's useful to get the person in perfect exposure even though the background may be slightly over or underexposed. Spot metering evaluates light only from your focus point and ignores everything else. This technique is useful for bird or wildlife photography where my bird may occupy only a small area of the frame and I want that to be exposed correctly. This is also very useful for photographing the moon. So I can place my focus point on the moon so that it is exposed correctly even though the background, which is the night sky, may be underexposed. Now you may be confused which metering mode to use when. Guys, there's no hard and fast rule that you have to use center weighted average for portraits or spot metering for birds. I have used matrix metering and center weighted average metering for birds and it works. No one is gonna kill you if you get your metering wrong, and spot metering is difficult to master. So what do we do? If you're still confused, for beginners I suggest that you try matrix metering first and try to get your focus point correct. The focus point should be the most important part in your scene, and if it's a landscape, it should be a point which is neither dimly lit nor brightly lit. So once you get the knack of getting your focus point right, you can try later center weighted average and then spot metering. And then guys, you will yourself be able to judge which metering mode works for which kind of images, where spot metering is best, where matrix metering works. You will be able to judge yourself. Practice and only practice will make you perfect. So guys, this is all I have to say about the different metering modes of your camera, and I hope you found my tutorial to be useful. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. Leave a comment down below about which tutorials you want to watch next on my channel, or if you still have any questions about metering, leave them down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also turn on the bell icon to be notified whenever I post new videos. Here is my previous photography tutorial. Please go check it out guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more such videos every Wednesday on my channel. Bye.